Laddies and lassies.
They've got to try and follow the boys.
To reply on behalf of the lassies.
Please welcome Esme, Kiki, Molly, Sinead, and Hester.
Mrs. Kinch, staff, lads,
Lassies,
and parents online.
Boys. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech written about us lassies. It was...
well, how can we put this?
Interesting.
Honestly though, we'd very much like to congratulate the laddies on a truly magnificent speech. We always knew it would be hard to follow, and I think we were proven to be right. We could hardly follow a word of it. Our speech is going to be lovely, and not going to be sexist in any way, shape or form.
Also, before we get into the heart of our speech, a little warning to you all to please remember to beware the symptoms of love. The quickening of the pulse, the shortness of breath, the slight reddening of the cheeks. These are the same symptoms of COVID. So please, instead of worrying that you may be about to fall in love, isolate and get a PCR test.
Now, boys, you say we take so long in the showers, yet you don't seem to realise that these are required for general hygiene, especially after hanging out in the common room with you lot.
The shower really is a wonderful invention, and you all ought to have one every so often. Louis, it would be really good to wash your hair.
Although you talk about Esme and her Christmas obsession, Bruce, your birthday isn't anytime soon. It was quite kind of you to speak about our impressive hockey skills.
So we should probably talk about your rugby. It's not a very graceful sport, and having watched you all play, half of you have more of a chance of catching feelings than catching a ball. And Brown, you're almost as bad as in New Holland.
Now that talk of rugby, the British sport, is over, we can continue.
You may think that many of us girls are a bunch of chatterboxes, blethering away, but Burns had different ideas about women. Indeed, he spoke of the majesty of women. That is to say that he thought that the fairer sex was majestic and wonderful.
He didn't say that about the laddies, did he?
Writing about one lassie who he describes as bonny, Burns stated,
When in my arms, with all thy charms, I cast my countless treasure, oh, I seek no more of heaven to share than to sick a moment's pleasure, oh.
Louis is quite like Burns with many girlfriends, including a Frenchie.
Burns described us girls as charming, a treasure and heavenly. There must be truth in what he said, as he has still celebrated the world over them 2 more years after his death.
Robert Burns clearly loved the company of lassies, as we hear in his poem, Green Grow the Rash's Own.
The sweetest hours that I spend are spent among the lassies.
Going back to what you could learn from Robert Burns, Robbie also stated that.
Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune.
He was also like the Ardvreck laddie bagpipers, who often sound like they're accidentally sitting on a cat and making it screech, like Struan's high voice.
Burns was a wonderful romantic who won the hearts of women with his magical poetry and declared to his beloved,
I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry.
This is a rather more beautiful sentiment than the lines you laddies give us. One boy in Form 6, who will remain nameless to spare his blushes, came up with the following interesting line to one of the girls. Hey, I hope you know CPR because you just took my breath away.
Similarly, did it hurt when you fell?
When?
From heaven. As one of you lads said recently, is certainly not up to the same standards as Burns' fantastic poetry.
I think all the girls will agree that Burns was more able to charm women than all you boys. Thanks for trying, though, boys.
Having mocked the boys for all their shortcomings, we women wouldn't have as good time here if it weren't for you laddies. If nothing else, who would we tease, poke fun at, and from time to time admire? And your little flaws are usually why we like you so much. As Burns himself said, a man's a man for all that. So although as a woman it pains me, I'm going to give the last word to a man, the man of the hour, Robert Burns. Before we toast the laddies, it's Burns who gives the best picture of the perfect harmony of men and women getting along.
We will build a wee house, and we will live like king and queen. Say blithe and merry's we will be, when ye sit by the wheel at e'en. A man may drink and no be drunk, a man may fight and no be slave. A man may kiss a bonny lass and aye be welcome back again.
We would finally like to invite all the lassies in the room and online to bring a feather on and toast the Ardvreck